gave them some new, I gave them some work to do. Holy shit. Whoa. All right, what do we got? I mean, the history of this hive is that early in the season, I consolidated all the brood into the bottom box. And when the brood was about 70% filled in the frames, then I added the top brood box. Then I looked for them to be storing honey, and I also looked for queen cells. So there were no queen cells, and the bees were storing a lot of honey. If they do it on the top of the bottom box, it creates a honey bridge, sort of like a rainbow, and the queen won't cross it. And that's a sign that tells you you're ready to super, honey super. And so last week I put on a medium honey super. I'm checking today. I also gave the bottom, the top brood box, I think 2 frames for them to build out. So the queen could have snuck up through there, but I'm checking to see that she didn't, and I've got 2 more frames to go, but right now it looks to be like a perfect hive situation where the bees are collecting a ton of honey and nectar to turn into honey in the first super of the season. And they will fill this. I mean, this is like 5 days of work, and I think it's rained a couple of them. So they will fill this in less than like 10 days they'll fill it. So I've got to be ready to add another honey super. And I will top super, which means that I will put the super on top of this. Makes it harder for them, but they go up, but that's okay. And yeah, this hive will be a great honey producer this year. Very exciting, it's very healthy, doing very well. Yeah, so this is like a perfect, we have 2 examples in the bee yard of it perfect and an imperfect situation. This hive, the queen was replaced the same year. This is her 2nd year. And the other, and hive number, 7, replaced the queen the same year. That queen swarmed. This hive didn't. And the same manipulations were done. So, you know, this is my breeder. If I wanted to breed, this is my breeder queen. Oy. It's good. Let's go see if the same thing is in hive 5. I'm going to give it a little more room here. All right. So this is fairly empty. Everything was drawn out already, but there's no honey in here. Same thing here. The bees are interested in the real estate, but they're not bringing in any nectar. So this hive is further behind. So this has honey. This has the start of honey. And you see the boys, they're eating, because that's what the drone do best. They eat. Eat, eat, eat. All right, so we got some honey, but not as much, like, you know, not as much as the other hive. And this is still light, a little bit of nectar. But the good news is the queen has stayed in her bottom brood box, which is where I want her. So we got some nectar. We got nectar in all of them, the last 3, but not as much as its sister hive that we just checked. Yeah, they're working on it. but no brood. So this will be a good honey producer, just not as... We'll see if it catches up to the other one. And in the top, when I super with a medium honey super, I only put 9 frames because the bees are able to build out the comb and store honey that goes outside the dimensions of the frame. If you have 10, they have to be thinner, but I want them nice and fat. You can collect more honey in a 9-frame medium super than you can in a 10-frame medium super. So.